Every week I slide in, break it down just right. Talking boats with the passion that I bring to the mic. From the big time plays to the moments we grind. You know I'm keeping it honest, a real talk every time. I've been watching this team since way back then, and now I'm riding with my people through the losses and wins. When you pull up to the show, you know what you gon' get. 4630 in the building, Chargers fan represent.
Chargers talk 4630, yeah, we break it down clean. Real fans, real talk, everything in between. From the field to the fans, every moment we see. Turn it up, tune in, it's the place to be. Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk. Yeah, let's ride. Chargers talk, Chargers talk. Check out Stacy on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. And also don't forget about BoCap immediately following each Chargers game.
This episode of Chargers Talk 4630 is brought to you by Zevo Life, the exclusive patented superfood changing the way people fuel their bodies. Now listen, if you're looking for a game-changing way to improve your health, Zevo Life is the world's most nutrient-dense whole plant. We're talking over 50% plant protein, essential amino acids, fiber, and powerful antioxidants, all in one natural source. Just 1 teaspoon a day supports your gut, boosts your energy, and promotes healthier skin and hair. And the best part, people everywhere are giving it a 5-star review because it works. So if you're ready to feel the difference, head over to Zevo.life and start your journey with their 30-day risk-free guarantee. And because you're a loyal listener of this podcast, you get an exclusive 30% discount. Just use my code ChargeTalk4630 at checkout. That's without the R. That's ChargeTalk4630. Take control of your health today with Zevo Life. Your body will thank you. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are located. I'm Stacy, and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. And as always, I appreciate y'all for checking out this podcast. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, we are on every digital platform, so you can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. What's up, y'all? I've been real busy this week. I was on pop-pop duties with my grandson, and believe you me, he wears me out. I was so tired the last couple of days, but I love him like crazy, and I always enjoy my pop-pop time. But, man, it was nice to give him back to mommy last night so I could get me some much-needed rest. Just don't have the same energy level in my 60s, you know what I mean? But enough about all that. I got a good podcast for you today. This is year 3 of the Chargers Talk 4630 podcast, and I want to talk to you about what I've learned and how we grew this year and how I saw this season. So today, this episode is about my review of the Chargers 2025 season. It was important for me to highlight the season because when I really sit back and look at this year from start to finish, there's a lot more to unpack than just wins and losses. So let's go back to the beginning. This season started out with real promise, right? Coming off of an 11-6 finish last season in year 1 under the Jim Harbaugh era, there was finally a sense that this organization is heading in the right direction now. We all knew after 3 embarrassing years under Brandon Staley, with the roster full of talent, that talent alone wasn't good enough. This team needed real leadership, right? They needed a culture builder. They needed somebody who could establish accountability and add stability to this team. Now here we are in year 2. And they finished with another successful season with back-to-back double-digit wins again. And honestly, when you factor in everything that happened this season, you can make a strong argument that it could have been even better, right? If not for all the injuries, especially up front. Now, for me, this felt like it was a long, exhausting, and challenging season. And as the season started, things looked shaky. The offensive line suffered major injuries. Tackles were done for the year. Justin Herbert was dealing with injuries. And about a month ago, he had surgery to repair a broken bone in his non-throwing hand. You have first-round pick Omari Hampton, who was supposed to play a key role in the way they run the ball, was lost for 9 weeks with a fractured foot. You lose Khalil Mack for 4 weeks after that scary elbow injury that scared the hell out of everybody, right? And yet, despite of all that, with everybody writing this team off, look where we're sitting at the end of the season. Another trip to the playoffs. And here's another thing that matters to me. Everyone knows the issues I have with the sports media and how the Chargers are covered. I know what the pundits are saying. I know what the national media is saying. But when you have a top 5 quarterback, when you have a Khalil Mack or Derwin James or Tuli Pelotu or Daffy Oway, Lab McConkey, Omari Hampton, when you have those type of players along with Jim Harbaugh and Jesse Minter, if the Chargers win, it's not an upset. Sports media, it's not going to be an upset. This team is good and better than you give them credit for. That upset label is a media narrative that's been attached to this franchise for years. And we know the only way that the narrative changes is just to win, right? So when I look at this matchup this Sunday in New England, and when I look at this moment, I'm not approaching it with any type of hesitation or doubt. I'm not approaching it with what ifs. I'm approaching it with expectations. Now, I'm not going to disrespect the success the Patriots have had this season. And I'm not going to dismiss Mike Vrabel as a coach because he's a damn good coach. But I believe the lessons that's been learned over the years by Justin Herbert has made him a better, more experienced, veteran quarterback who understands at this point in his career what it takes to elevate to the next level in the playoffs. I just believe it's his time. I believe it's time for Justin Herbert to get his first playoff win. I believe it's time for Khalil Mack to get his first playoff win. And I believe it's time for Jim Harbaugh to get his first playoff win as head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. And they have the backing of a suffocating and swarming defense and a defensive coordinator that's in high demand for a head coach position in Jesse Minter. I expect the Chargers to beat the New England Patriots this weekend. This isn't about hoping anymore. This isn't about excuses anymore. This is about a mindset. I know there have been ups and downs, peaks and valleys, challenges and adversities, and everybody knows this team is solid in every department except one. The offensive line has been the weakness all season long. Not having your tackles, not having adequate guards, not having a true answer at center. But my whole thing is this. We have been good enough everywhere else to overcome the issues up front. And when I zoom out and really look at the big picture, I realize how fortunate we really are. We could be one of those teams still searching for a quarterback. We could be one of those teams without a head coach. We could be one of those teams without a culture. We could be one of those teams without stability. We could be one of those teams that just fired their coach and has no real direction. We could be one of those teams whose season was over after the first month. But we are not one of those teams. We have a franchise quarterback. We have a real coach. We have stability in the building. And we're playing playoff football again in the second consecutive season. That's why all season long, I've been preaching belief. I've been preaching trust in the process. I've been preaching trust in the coaching staff. I've been preaching trust in Jim Harbaugh, even when things didn't look great because he forgot more football than we will ever know. And I want to be clear about something when I talk about belief. Belief don't mean I'm blind to reality. I'm not one of those fans that believe so hard that they're out of touch with the fact that you can also lose. I watch football long enough to know anything can happen, especially in the playoffs. So when I say I believe, what I'm really saying is I choose not to be hesitant in my thoughts or think scared about what we're about to face. I see the flaws. I see the weaknesses. I know the offensive line issues are real. I don't run from that. And I know this season hasn't been perfect. But belief to me is also acknowledging all of that and still trusting the people in charge, still trusting the process, and still allowing yourself to enjoy the moment. If they win, I'm ready to celebrate just like I have all season. And if they lose, I'm prepared to accept it without acting like the season was a failure. Of course, it would be disappointment to fall short of the ultimate goal that every team has, which is reaching the Super Bowl. But disappointment and failure are not the same thing. Not achieving the final goal don't erase the growth, the progress, or the foundation that was built throughout this season. That's not denial, that's balance. Let me tell you a quick story about a friend of mine here in Jersey. In fact, he's the only Charger fan I know personally from this state. His name is Steve. We talk Chargers football at least 3 times a week. Cool, low-key, really good guy. We have our debates all the time. I'm always looking at the brighter side of things, and he usually goes the opposite route. I tried to get him to come on the podcast so we can discuss it, but he didn't want to do that. But he did give me his blessings that I can have a discussion about it on the podcast. So I want to state, this is not a Bash Steve segment. We have love between the two, and I would not be discussing this if he had an issue with it. The discussion is only being put out there so we can all learn something from the lesson. So please, no attacking my boy Steve. That's not the purpose of this conversation. When we get done having our conversation, he still feels the same way, and my goal wasn't to change his mind because his points were all valid. But I just wanted to get him to look at the situation from a different angle. This is really where football and life overlap for me. In life, you're going to have triumphs. You're going to have some victories. You get to celebrate those, right? But you're going to take some losses along the way. But what you can't do is get stuck in a rut worrying about everything that didn't go right. You take the positives, you learn the lessons from the losses, and you keep it moving. That's how I look at football. My man Steve has a right to his concerns. Those concerns are fair. And the truth is, I have the same concerns. I see the same flaws and I see the same weaknesses that he points out. The difference is this. I chose to enjoy the entire season along with everything that comes with it. I didn't ignore the issues. I just didn't let them steal the joy from the journey. I didn't want to spend every week pointing out what might go wrong, because then I miss out on the wins, the moments, and missing the times throughout the season that I got to celebrate online with all the Charger fans. No team is perfect. Every team has flaws. But when you find ways to win despite of those flaws, that's the part you're allowed to celebrate. I'm not saying erase the concerns, because if all we ever do is focus on what went wrong, we're going to miss when things actually start going right. My point is, my man Steve has unfortunately not enjoyed the journey this year, and he admits that to me. When we talk about the games, with every win, he was always saying, yeah, but the offensive line. Yeah, but we letting people run up the middle. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to get us that far. Yeah, but we're not beating good teams. Then we discussed this week's game against the Patriots, and he told me, man, we're going to be one and done. I told him, we had a really good season, Steve. I had fun the entire season, and we're in the playoffs. But you're still concentrating on all the negative things. Because of that, you never get to enjoy the journey, which is still not complete yet. We beat the Eagles, and you say, yeah, but we lucky they didn't have Jalen Carter. We beat the Chiefs, and you say, yeah, but Patrick Mahomes been struggling all year long. Do y'all have people you talk to like that? Are you one of those people? This is what happens when you keep listening to clickbaits on social media and sports shows that look at a couple of highlights and can tell you what they think about your team. And my point is this. I had fun this entire football season. I enjoyed the wins. I took the L's with grace. I jumped on social media, talked trash. I laughed with Charger fans. And actually, I lived in the good moments that the team gave us this year. And the wild part is this. While I was enjoying my season, my partner, my dude, Steve, was stressed the entire time. Not because the team was losing, but because all he could see is what might go wrong. He told me if we beat the Patriots, he's on board with me, but that's kind of what happens when we've been a damaged team that could never win in the biggest games and in the biggest moments. But that's all in the past now because we didn't have Harbaugh. So I expect all that to change with a victory this weekend. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I want to get back on topic right now. I watched Justin Herbert this year go through so much turmoil, and he still made miracle throws when there was nothing there. I seen him create something out of nothing. I watched him carry this team through nothing but chaos. And through it all the hits, all the pressures, and all the injuries, here we are, still standing in the playoffs, guided by number 10. So, yeah, I enjoyed this journey so far, and I hope you are too. Now, let me close this out. Great teams are built in steps. We saw it happen these last 2 years. Great cultures take time. We've seen it happen in just 2 years because of our leader. I said from day one when Jim Harbaugh was hired, this was a 3-year vision. I knew the first 2 years would come with cap issues. That's why you saw so many one-year prove-it deals while the culture was being built, right? We saw toughness being installed, and we saw a team that was built to compete every single week. Now, year 3 is coming. The books are going to be clean. They're projected to be top 5 in cap space with money to spend. And I fully expect a couple of big-time free agent signings, the final missing pieces to a team that could legitimately challenge for a Super Bowl. But let me be clear, I am not counting out this season. They have an opportunity this postseason to do something special. And I'm going to root hard and I'm going to cheer loud because you never know what can happen when belief meets opportunity. The belief is there. The fans believe. We believe. The players believe, the coaching staff believe, and now opportunity has presented itself in this wild card game against the New England Patriots, who are the number 2 seed, and now all the Chargers have to do is go out there and be who they've been all season long. With that being said, that was my 2025 ending of the season preview, and I'm expecting a big victory in the wild card round for the Chargers, and yes, I'm predicting the final score, Chargers 30, Patriots 24. I hope you enjoyed the journey so far. Now let's enjoy this moment. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your support. Like, share, and subscribe, and expect one of the biggest wins in Charger history Sunday night. Now, y'all know I love to write music. I have the latest rap song I wrote, and I'm dedicating it to the Chargers and for us fans. I'm going to let it play out right now for you to listen, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days. And the track is called Here Come Them Boats, Part 2. Boat up, guys.
All right, everybody. This track dedicated to the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Boat family title brought to you by Chargers Talk 4630. Like,
yeah, here come them boats.
Yeah.
Yeah, here come them boats.
Yeah.
Lights out, Sean Merriman knocking multiple players out. If you thought I stay silent while you dog, my Chargers think twice. I'm leading the squad, San Diego to LA. Big charge energy, yeah, we paved the way. Fake angry fans, but they still love the team. Told me in the DMs, they just pump faking schemes. Tony Jefferson lurking anywhere near the radar. Middle of the field, yeah, he leaving you scarred. Let the whole world know y'all don't want us to shine. Paying tribute to LT Rivers Gates all time. Y'all done pissed me off, get up out my face. Fake bloggers, ESPN, Fox Sports, same fake takes. Don't turn on them tunes, that fake news trash. Junior say y'all, this defense doing it for your past. Who laid the roadmap so we do what we do? Rest in peace, stop thinking powder blue, soft fool. Don't let the jerseys trick you. This ain't no game, we took you to the clubs while you singing back to Cali again. Yeah, we a problem, Lat McConkey, former dog, moving chains on third down with Keenan involved. Texans won the battle, but they won't win the war. DeMeco Ryans a man I respect, that's law. But I heard Troy Vincent got a phone call place, trying to sideline Perryman, 2 games of race. Cause your receivers knew they couldn't cross that zone. No fly zone, welcome to Derwin's home. Perryman Derwin, laser tag authorized, only try sneaking through the bag, ran into a real OG. Cat sleeping, jab, right hand sat down. Someone should've warned you, the Mac is back now. Bionic elbow violence in his thoughts, set the edge hard, yeah, he shut that spot. Cut inside to your tart, hit your gut real fast, try the other side, oh the fake.
Oh wait, blast! Here come them boats.
Media never took us serious, they ain't laughing no more. 11-6, yeah, we knocking on war. Started with the O-line, now the whole team flying. Say we ain't play nobody, beat Philly, had them crying. Fly, Eagles fly, turned into silence real quick. Sent the Chiefs home singing their anthem, that's it.
And the whole me of the sheep.
America's team, Dallas Cowboys, carved them up clean. CD pick his dad, yeah, I said what I mean. Sent them back to Texas, looked them straight in the face.
We them boys.
Nah, y'all lying today. Up next, number 2 seed, New England, I confess. Looking good, but remind that ass you Tom Brady less. Y'all never knew about our secret weapons yet. Justin Herbert throwing darts by your head, no sweat. Hampton Vidal, breakout game, inbound. Media gon' panic when we shut it down. This ain't just another game on the schedule this year. Playoffs is here, we coming to Boston, no fear. Beat your team, hit the stands, take your beer. Send you home mad, Boat family cheer. Support Stacy, Chargers Talk 4630, like, share. Subscribe, yeah, we out early. Peace.